Hi guys, today I am going to show you how to recreate this look. It is a very simple, easy look to do, and it is something that I usually do for myself whenever I'm really busy and I don't want to take a lot of time on my makeup, but I still want to look fresh and I still want to look like I spent a little bit of time on my look and not just kind of just slapped on products and then left the house. So I hope that you guys enjoy this look, and if you want to learn how to recreate it, then just keep watching. So for days like today, I don't even use any primer because my skin is so dry that I don't really have any issues as far as my makeup coming off or melting off, because it's so dry that whatever I put on, it just kind of just sticks. And usually when I use primers, I always tend to use primers that make my skin more luminous. So I'm just going to skip primer today, and I'm going to use my Born This Way foundation. I'm just taking a pump. Not even going to use any makeup brushes. I'm just going to use my fingers. And I'm just going to rub this into my skin like I would a lotion. I'm really buffing it in there. And now I'm just going to brighten up my face a little bit with some concealer. I'm using the Fit Me concealer in the lightest shade. It's number 10. And I'm just going to put this underneath my eyes and on the eyelids. And a little bit down my nose and just a little bit right here. I always put concealer down my nose because I have a lot of like freckles on my nose that I need to hide. And then again, just with my fingers, I'm not using brushes, I'm just going to blend that out. And I'm mainly focusing that concealer in an upside down triangle on my face right here, kind of where the flat part is, because that's just going to give me a little bit of a highlight and contour effect. Very subtle, but it does make a difference. So now that we have finished the face and it's all nice and even and highlighted and whatnot, we can move on to the brows. And usually with brows, I obsess over them and I take forever doing them. When I do a full-on glam makeup tutorial, I will spend a long time on my brows making sure that they're perfect. But on days like this, ain't nobody got time for that. I certainly don't have time to be just, perfecting my brows sometimes. So what I like to do is use my Maybelline Brow Drama. And this is in the shade Soft Brown. And it's not very dark, it's very subtle, but it's just going to tint my brows just a little tiny bit so that they look a little bit fuller. And this is what the spoolie looks like. And I'm just going to brush it through my hairs. And while I wait for those to dry, I'm going to move on to bronzing up my face, making it look a lot warmer, because I am so light that it kind of makes me look like I'm drained. So I need to put life back into my face, and that's what bronzer is going to do for me. And the bronzer that I'm going to use today is very light, it's very subtle, and it's the Sonia Kashuk Shimmering Loose Powder Bronzer. And I'm using this one because it has a little bit of sparkle in it, so it's going to make my skin look a little bit more luminous. And when I'm not doing a full glam on face, I like something that's going to give me a little bit of glow. And then I'm just going to put that in the hollows of the cheeks, in the spot that you would normally contour. I'm just going to put that right there, and you can see that's really soft and subtle. I like to start right here and really buff in that color, and then slowly start to bring it in towards my mouth, because I want it to be really like full on right here. And this stuff is really forgiving. You can put on a lot and it's not going to look too crazy, and then you can build it up. So it's really mistake proof. Do you see what a difference that the bronzer does to your face? Doesn't it look like I just feel so much better, like I'm not sick anymore? So don't skip that part. And now I'm just going to line my lids. I'm using the Endless Silky Eye Pen in Bronze Beam by Pixi. And I'm just doing the outer part of my lid. So right here. Just right there. And that's just going to lift up my eye just a little bit. So I'm not going to line all the way in, just this part right here. And I'm not even going to do a winged out eyeliner either. I'm just making it a little bit lifted a little bit more awake and not so droopy on the sides. And then I'm just going to take a brush and slightly blend it out, just smoke it out a tiny bit. I just don't want it to look like I just drew it on there. I want it to look like a shadow. I'm going to give my lashes a really good curl because that's going to open up your eyes and then just make you look really like perky, and you know, so I'm going to curl those babies. Like, and so I just give them one good coat so that they dry like this, like lifted up, because the more coats you put on them, they start to get heavy and kind of start drooping down. So I like to just coat them once so that they dry like kind of like hairspray, like just stuck that way, and then I'll go on and add all the coats that I want afterwards. So since I'm waiting for these to dry, my lashes to dry, I'm going to go on and start to kind of sculpt my brows, and I'm using my Pixi Natural Brow Duo in Deep Brunette. And so I'm just going to give them a little bit of a nicer shape because my natural brow doesn't really have a good shape to them. They grow really patchy. And so I'm just going in and kind of filling in any sparse areas. And then I'm just going to go in and soften it with a spoolie brush or brow comb. Just to soften it, make them look natural still. Okay, the lashes still need a little bit of more time, so then I'm just going to finish the rest of my face. I'm going to put on a little bit of blush. I like to use peachy blushes because, I don't know, I just like that kind of peachy glow. So I'm using Makeup Geek in the color Bliss, which is a beautiful, just kind of like a peach smoothie, peach sorbet type of blush. And I'm just going to put that right on my cheeks. This is the apple of my cheek, and I'm kind of just bringing it back towards the hairline. If you don't like highlight, then you can definitely just skip this part and you can just leave your face as it is. But I, on the other hand, love highlight. I live for highlight. I need it in my life every day. Even on subtle makeup days, I still put on highlight. So I'm using this new L'Oreal True Match LUMI highlight. And this is in the rose color one. Can't even see it. There it is. And I'm just going to swirl my brush into it. And I'm just putting it on the tops of my cheeks, a little bit on my nose. I just love having that glow, you know, and especially since my skin is dry, I need all the help I can get because it doesn't get oily. You know, usually people that have oily skin will have that kind of dewiness, and that's why I have to put on highlight. And you know what, this is very subtle. Again, when you put it on, it's not going to be like a streak of light on your face. You can put it on and it just kind of shears out, and it's almost like a veil. So I really like that highlight. You guys, this mascara is giving it to me. Look at how thick my lashes look. It is slaying those lashes. And now to finish off the look, I'm using the Stila Stay All Day Liquid Lipstick in Bellissima. And I'm just going to tap this on. So I'm going to put a little bit on the lips and then just tap it out with my fingers. And that is it. That completes the look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this makeup tutorial. Please thumbs up if you like these more toned down versions of makeup looks. Usually I like to do full on glam, but I think it is very useful for you guys to have something that's very simple, really easy, that doesn't involve so many steps, that you can just get done and go out and do whatever it is that you need to do. And so thumbs up if you enjoy these makeup tutorials, and I will do different looks that are really easy for you. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this makeup look, and I will see you guys in the next tutorial.